perhaps eke it out. But first, they need to do something about Rogue. They need to do something about that man on the top. First killer. Undeniably one of the really revelations of the whole season. The star player to maybe at some point even rival the class of Justin and the rest. I feel like already by this point, First Killer is the player that is spoken of in the same fashion as Justin, but the first goal comes in from none else that Turo, as Rogue just out-pressured their opposition in the attack.
Yeah, he certainly wanted a piece of the limelight. The less we talk about the XSET defense there, the better. To be fair, J-Pow nearly recovered in time, but I think AlphaCat basically just got rugby tackled by the goalpost, unfortunately, for him. And it's not the ideal note to open up on for XSET, but better early than late, as you say. And what a save from J-Pow, a double touch off the inside of his own post to deny that man you were talking about, First Killer. And to be fair, avoiding the immediate 2-0 could have been disaster averted for now.
Well, let's see what XSET can do in this series. Obviously, we've seen them earlier on today in their very first matchup versus Team Envy. And that was, again, it was an incredibly close series. That a 3-goal comeback that really did not happen in the end of the final match of the series. XSET do have a fight in them, that's for sure, do have quality. Again, the Titan, that is the Team Envy, is nothing to get scuffed at. But feels like to me that in that series, Hoxer was a little bit absent. I would really pinpoint Hoxer as the best player on XSET, really. And I don't feel like he was necessarily impeding, or rather impacting the series as much as he could have.
Now, I think that's fair enough. I mean, I really did, as you say, when we were talking about XSET earlier, it did highlight Hoxer as well. I think it's fair to say when they look at their best, it is when Hoxer looks at his best. That's no discredit to J-Pow and AlphaCat. Maybe it's almost a double-edged sword in that sense. And to be fair, sometimes it can look marvelous. Even today in that NV series, they opened up with a massive 4-goal tally in the first game, but they just didn't end up having the stamina to keep that performance going. It was always going to have to be a mountain of a climb, but at some point, and especially when you're in a major, you're going to have to pull some of them off. And this is an exact same similar series, but they've not got the hot start to open things out. They're a goal down with 3 minutes on the clock and a good shot there, but First Killer on the goal line is going to make the save, and it's unfortunate, but as long as they can keep up this offense, XSET certainly stand in with a fighting chance. And a loose touch from Turo could be the thing that lets them back in it, and what a finish from AlphaCat.
You can see that the XSET have been setting up this scam for a while now, just going more and more into the side of Broken here finally. Alpha clear that wasn't as successful for Rogue as they were expecting. XSET just combine all of their powers, and Hoxer does what he does best for his team. He sets up his teammate best in the league so far in terms of assist, or at least in a spring split. He does it again, high game. And honestly, XSET have been looking better and better the longer this game went. Rogue were not allowed a second goal quickly. And while the ball right now returns to that side, and Turo, you could see him waited for the last possible second, but AlphaCat denies that mind game.
Yeah, you gotta respect the patient shot, but AlphaCat now making a difference at both ends of the field here, and the shot's gonna come through, banging down off the crossbar, but the clear there likewise. Just wanted to talk about the equalizer there for XSET. Of course, you'd expect better of a player of his caliber in the case of Turo, but it was unfortunate the bounce that ended up becoming a loose touch of a clear hand. I need to maybe pay attention to this double touch setup. No, I don't. No danger here, guys. Don't worry at all, because with that bounce that ended up being loose, as the wall becomes the post near the goal, it becomes steeper and steeper, the bottom curve, that usually the ball would roll up, or at least bounce out, in that case more softly. But because it bounced out so flat, his touch ended up just bouncing straight back off the wall, and that's what allowed the angle for AlphaCat to find the shot. It's harsh, but at the top level, those are the small differences that make the difference. And right now, it could be game deciding here, as we're kind of headed to silver gold territory. And we talked about really wanting to open up strong for XSET here. One goal will almost certainly be the difference, but as we mentioned, as I did indeed, Jam, it's looking like it could be a scary 2-1 that didn't work out for them against the Sonics.
Oh, well, we're still observing that close game that XSET love, hate, whatever it might be. They're currently experiencing it. Turo could not do this last time, does it on this attempt. And honestly, for me, this was an even weaker attempt at it. But since J-Pow could not make the connection, and AlphaCat was in no position to save its top right corner, well, that's for Turo, top left corner for the defense of XSET themselves. That was untakeable. Slow, a bit a bit wacky, most importantly, unsavable to make it 2-1 for Rogue.
Yeah, a very satisfying finish there, making up for mistakes. Down for the equalizer there, and it's a lovely 2-1 lead now for Rogue, as poor J-Pow, like you say, couldn't quite reach it on the backboard, just a little short on boost supply there. He's going to get it and fizz it into the center there, but first killer patiently positioned. He's going to be able to clear that one away, no problem. 50 seconds is the time on the clock for XSET to try and find an equalizer here, but it's going to be tough as the midfield is being penned in. But the loose touch comes to AlphaCap, and he puts it over one. Has he got it over two? No, two in Turo. Fantastic recovery there to pop that above the crossbar, and first killer again uncontested on the ball. There comes a point where you just don't bother contesting him because maybe he just is a little bit too fast sometimes, but really kind of have to keep his ego in check there and break that confidence. And what a way to do it than just J-Pow collecting an open net late on, and we have a tie game again in game one.
I wasn't even sure if they needed him. No, he was just there to support his team, who outplayed Rogue on a flank. A couple of good touches for XSET, and the Rogue just did not have anything in the air. The blocks were not coming in time. And you can see the XSET just works the ball aerial-wise. Could get another one. Will there be a tie? There's still a follow-up on the ground, but that's too weak from J-Pow. In turn, Tura denies what could have been an immediate lead-getting goal from XSET. In the last 10 seconds, the series, or the game, is heating up. We're only in game one between Rogue and XSET. And we're heading into overtime. Unless something magical happens at 2-2. And XSET still loves to keep it close.
And certainly they do, as Rogue will be blessing their crossbar at the end of this game if they manage to pull off the win, because that was a little bit too close there at the end of regulation. And it's XSET who are pressing again. J-Pow's touch from the ceiling, pretty, but only a pass to AlphaCap there. Bought plenty of time, and Rogue, they are back in numbers here, and the time is being bought by Hotsker with an aggressive challenge. And speak of aggression there, a demo in the midfield is going to open up the net for Tarocco, but the save nearly coming through, but Tarocco puts it away, and Rogue take game one.
Oh, you could see that Tarocco did not have the best of the followers, the best of landings in J-Pow. He was really hoping that he would have been demolished just basically milliseconds earlier. This was the difference between overtime still continuing and this being a Rogue game. Wow. XSET by no means is starting this series as an underdog, a team that is going to be chasing their opposition. I feel like they're coming in to this one with a game plan. Again, Hoxer, while he's on the lower side of the scoreboard with only 2 assists to his name, 2 saves, knowing that what his team has done as well, the fact is he is still the creation power for the side of XSET, and he's still making sure that his touches lead his teammates J-Pow and AlphaCap for some chances up front. And we could see just how well it worked, especially on that last goal, where just a series of touches between the whole of the XSET team have allowed them to just go past the Rogue defense altogether for an open net.
Yeah, I mean, you see it really. What an absolute shootout it was. It was 14 shots to 11 in favor of Rogue. They're hoping to see more aggressive play like that. And unfortunately, it was 1 goal the difference again for XSET. You got to feel for poor J-Pow there. He probably might have even made that save if he spawned on the other side. It would have been a little bit more awkward, and what an attempt he did make. But credit to Rogue, taking him out in the middle of the field there. And if they find an Achilles heel maybe in XSET with the aggressive demos, then they could be in for more goals. But it's not going to get one early on in this second game there. That goal was completely vacated, and this time it was the woodwork of XSET. They managed to keep the ball out of the back of the net, and Rogue maybe feeling a little bit unfortunate there, but I'm sure they'll have their chances this game. Still plenty of time on the clock, 0-0.
You can see that XSET are not shy of immediately pulling out the physical game card, hunting for players, getting demos going. The control, I think, has betrayed XSET on that attack. They lost the ball a couple of times, and in the end, their attack was not as powerful as it could have been. In the end, Rogue do manage to stop everyone. Speaking of Rogue, they're now in the attack and trying to create something of their own. Without first killer in the attack, Rogue is going to have a little bit less options. They still have the aerial opportunities, but that does not get straight on target. Next, we'll have to try again a couple of boomers. Do they have the follow-ups? The backboard is there. It seems like the ball is going just too hard towards the XSET players when it's set up that follow-up.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult, but they're going to keep on trying with the infield here. Hoxter couldn't quite reach it there to keep the shot on target, but the pressure is there, and Sirocco has to respond, but does so well here. He's going to come around the wall and force a response out of J-Power. Looks across the field there, hoping to buy time. Forces Turinturo's boost uses, and a great 50 from Hoxer there. Going to buy so much breathing room for J-Power to collect the ball, force another 50 here, and they've set up at the halfway line, but a double commit could prove costly here as First Killer has got space. He's uncontested. He's up towards the backboard. The double touch does not come through there. Hoxer had to respect it, had to pre-jump, and the shot again a double commit. Unfortunately, it's all set up in net. RXSET, the second they're not on offense here, they've really turtled up fast, and that's okay because it really puts up a solid defense, but it's never really ideal there. And you see the aggression, the table sort of turned. Alpha Keb is the one now looking for the demos here, as we're still goalless in this second game. No cheap goal at the start like in game one here, and you have to think that it certainly might be coming soon.
I want to see which one of the teams reads this better, and Turn just seemingly passes it straight to the player of XSET. More shots are coming in through. It feels to me that the gameplay is getting much more awkward in terms of nobody's getting clear touches. As a result, the whole thing is just a little bit tough. First Killer has to make that save, and again, this comes off out of these awkward, not easy to read plays. A great drop, and Rogue have to improvise on the spot, but both teams right now are forced to be a little bit more original with their play, having to read not what they usually reading with the plays, with the touches, but something that they have to react in the spur of the moment. Is going to be the difference of who can do this better, seemingly, in this game too.
That's incredible that that save got made there, despite the bump coming through on the goal line, keeping us goalless here, as it is still in the Rogue half of the field, and the loose 50 bouncing mid, potentially dangerously, as a shot will come through. No double touch. First Killer gonna deny that one there, as Hoxter, he will challenge that and put it infield again. Not the first time we've seen him do it that game, but this time Turinturo is first to the mid ball here, and J-Pow likewise beaten out by First Killer, but Alpha kept back, and the numbers back for XSET to deal with that one for now, as he's going to take it down, but with no boost to his name, just an awkward touch, and the possession's turned over. But speak of awkward there, Turinturo and Sirocco queuing up there, not sure, I don't even know if either of them still know who was meant to be going for that ball, and they have still somehow got possession. A little strange as the loose ball to Hoxer, and the ball's not going to find the back of the net. Yes, it will. J-Pow will put it away, and one of the strangest goals I've seen in quite some time.
Finally, then, like you could see as Hoxer sends it off the roof of Turinturo, that's what gives that bounce and that power. Consider it almost like a pinch or a skip doing, I suppose. That's how the whole defense of Rogue gets just a little bit behind of the whole play. Cannot find an answer. That deadlock was broken, and fantastically, XSET now have a minute and a little bit to change to get something going in this game number 2. Could be another one-goal affair, but the ball, somebody needs to hit the ball, and First Killer coming in strong. That's going to be a tie pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there. The defense under a little bit too much. J-Pow not quite getting his read, and it's going to be costly as First Killer. Easy for him to convert from there. It was a better note to open up post the kickoff when First Killer tried to pop it and take it for an air dribble or play of the sorts, and J-Pow just sniped him out the air. It was fantastic to see, but when he's not making contact on that clear, he cannot really be complained when it gets punished, and the equalizer does come through, and maybe it'll be more for Rogue, as a beautiful shot from Sirocco there, completely sniping the top corner, forces the response from the defense, as likewise straight on the counter-attack it's played across, and Sirocco can't get that block. Patience from J-Pow, but he cannot get it past the last man. Turinturo, he stands strong there and gets that much needed block, and a block is needed from Alpha Ket, but the bounce is still dangerous, but this time First Killer lets it run, but nobody there behind to take that shot, as we are tied heading into the final seconds here. And Hoxer, he's taken it down underneath one, he's blocked another, but everyone on that side of the field means the loose ball. Turinturo is just happy to collect it, happy to slap it to the backboard. The shot from First Killer is not quite on target. That was an incredibly difficult shot, but the pressure still comes through. Sirocco shutting down the clear early, but Hoxer fakes out the pop, dodges Sirocco's bump by just not even moving, and First Killer's not gonna make contact. Hoxer has done it with 3 seconds left. XSET could have got themselves a game.
I like that you said that you've seen some weird goals, and we've seen some weird goals in the series, but this is seemingly the weirdest one of them all. And with a little bit of a high five in here from XSET players, 3 seconds remaining. A quick kickoff miracle is currently needed from Rogue, but this immediately goes neutral with Taroko in the air. They cannot do it, and XSET, wow, they pulled it out of nowhere, that play, and everyone's going to be scratching their heads how on earth that went in. But you could also see that in this second matchup, XSET have been much more efficient with the terms of their attack. They've outshone Rogue when it came to putting chances on target. My goodness, it definitely worked in the end. It was a hard job, and they had only 3 seconds still in tow to get this into regulation. We were heading towards another overtime by the looks of it. XSET do tie up the series in, I suppose, in XSET fashion.
Yeah, it's strange enough, really. You could say that the goals, when they came, seemed like they came out of nothing, but realistically, they were coming for a long time. 10 shots to 4 in favor of XSET, who actually this time come out on the preferable side of a 2-1. I would say I'd much prefer to win the 2-1 here, as we do tie up the series. Rogue won't be happy with a little bit of shoddiness, really, on the defense a couple times, but at least they were forced errors from the side of XSET. They'll see that as a weakness, and they can get hunger from that, motivation, and most importantly, confidence, as at the top level, the game is played just as much off the field as it is on it. And immediately, First Kill is going to open up with a demo to reiterate that and try and get inside the heads of the XSET players here. If we see the physical play come to fruition once again, like in Game 1, but speaking of Game 2, Hoxha has got time on the ball again. He's dribbled it inside and bumped one, and XSET are looking like they're teasing with danger time and time again. Rogue just not really seizing the game, not really taking it in the grasp that you might have expected at the start of the series, and Hoxha again is up with time. He's got the flip reset, he's got it on target, but Taroko with the save, and the follow-up from Turin is going to keep the ball safe for now, but I say safe. First Killer has baited a player and taked it underneath, but he will not find the 50 with Hoxha on the back line. Rogue, they may be under plenty of pressure, but they look like they can also strike back at any moment.
Yeah, the counters from Rogue have been absolutely deadly. We've seen it in the previous games already when sometimes Rogue have 2 players up the field. And look at that, give and go to Rogue, and do believe that was First Killer, making sure that XSET are forced to guess where the ball is going to go in the following second. Here, a little bit of mishap in the corner. They need a player immediately up front. But neither Taroko nor First Killer want to commit straight up. I think for a chance that XSET almost gifted their opposition, and First Killer, you could see such an forward position. He is right there on the goal line, trying to find himself a redirect. Was not working in his case, and with Alpha Cap breaking down, you could see just how much intention, how much speed there is with Rogue trying to defuse the situation. Another exit attack.
I mean, you see the hunger now that's coming out from XSET, and the bumps and the dunks that are coming through in this corner. First Killer's really had to wrestle it out of the back there, and with a touch from Turin to get past J-Pow, they're really having to fight for this possession, Rogue, and it's really working out better for XSET, I feel. Although you're talking about the redirect First Killer was going for on the goal line upfield, Hoxha still somehow made that save despite his car being in the way. And once again, we've gotten through the first 2 minutes without a goal. Who will it favor this time as a massive bump comes through? But J-Pow is back in time to take care of that ball, and he's going to get the back boost for his efforts as well. He's going to pop it up, but First Killer challenging it very, very early. Alpha Cap is up first. The touch is awkward. Turin having to reach it, and he does so well, and it's dropping down. Hoxha with one of the strangest of double touches, actually going to outplay both teams, and it's going to work out for First Killer, who's dribbling it downfield, isn't going to find too much luck here as we do approach halftime here, and it's a little bit of a standoff. As I say, that immediate shot coming through. Taroko with the shot, with the J-Pow save, it's not going to be enough. Turin first to the second ball, and he puts it in the back of the net.
It quickly unfolds the moment this is put on the backboard. J-Pow does a fantastic job following up on that ball off the backboard when he was trying to make the initial clear. But this is just not enough. When Rogue have the possibility and have the willingness to crash on that net, boy, do they make that work. There's just no chance for XSET to get anything going when you have 3 players going towards you. Another demo, though. The physical plays have been quite prominent for XSET in the series. They cannot find anything on this attack. We'll have to try again. Now with a man disadvantage. Cannot do it either. And look at that, how quickly with 2 players up front, once again, Rogue transition from midfield into attack in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and that really does reiterate when you're in control of a game and not the confidence out of your opponent. That lovely touch infield off the curve of the wall from Turin, just completely putting it in the path of First Killer. It was seamless. It was like well-oiled machinery. And when your opponents are making it, like you say, look so effortless to get the ball from their end straight downfield, deep into yours, that's when you start to doubt yourself. That's when they really look hard to play against. And if Rogue can keep their foot on the pedal in that sense, winning races to the ball like that, getting huge clears, but really linking up nicely, that's when they really stamp their authority here. And if they could get a 2-goal daylight sort of lead to put that gap between them and XSET, that's when they'll feel more in control. And when their confidence starts flowing, it could potentially just snowball out of control.
Well, this now a different game as the bomb from Alpha Cap comes in on the goalie from Rogue, and Hoxer this time does it himself. You can see out of the corner of your eye, defender, wham! Alpha Cap gets rid of Taroko, and there's no difficulty for Hoxer to put that straight on target. And for XSET, in the game that has been the opposite of game number 2, which they won, this one so far has been under the control of Rogue, and something like this is incredibly important to put themselves on equal footing and try to claw back, and I do mean claw back, because that has not been easy. Something in this game, 1 minute remaining. How on earth are we in a situation of another potential overtime? I suppose I should have expected this. This is XSET after all.
It is true. It has got to this point as maybe the demo would have worked out in time for them as well. It was a huge bump from Alpha Cap that got the equalizer, and maybe a huge air dribble from First Killer. No, denied by Hoxer. Taroko with the shot towards the bottom corner. This time, J-Pow is the one there to make that save, and it's late into Game 3. The go-ahead in the series here. You want to be moving on to Series Point. We talked about how important this series is for XSET to give them a chance of making it to the playoff stage here, but Rogue, they want to keep their foot on the pedal, just like we were mentioning before. As speaking of overtime, maybe there'll be one last chance in the game for First Killer as he's looking for the double touch off the ground, and he's gonna find it with 5 seconds on the clock.
Oh, this is the game the complete opposite of the previous one we just saw. That time it was 3 seconds and XSET getting that 2-1 lead for themselves. This time it's First Killer. And it seems like another flashback to the previous goals that Rogue have scored as well. First Killer, turn before him. They're utilizing this shot off the ground to make the opposition guess. You do not know where that's gonna come in the following second, and it's incredibly hard to put up any defense against this on the goal line. Most likely, you're not gonna get it on the goal line, period, since it's gonna go way above you, maybe under the crossbar. It is incredibly tough to get anything going there. Rogue on a match point in a series that has been incredibly close. 3rd game in a row, 1 goal difference. Overtimes denied in 2 previous games at the last possible moment. And most importantly for XSET, seems like the momentum has swung against them. While Rogue still have their issues, namely I feel like their rotations are a little bit weak. They're running into each other quite often. XSET have not been able to utilize this fully. Still, the biggest, I think, ace in the sleeve that XSET have at this point is those fantastic physical plays. We've seen it plenty of times. Rogue have kept losing their players left and right, and that allowed XSET to find themselves an opening in the middle of the field on the flank. But still, in this match, it has not been enough. Will they be able to make it work in what could be their final game of this series? Let's see.
Yeah, it's do or die, and you talk about the ace in the deck. It did feel a bit like during this series we've been playing top trumps, and unfortunately there, at the end of Game 3, it was just like Rogue just played the strongest top trump. They just played First Killer double touch, I win. And unfortunately, there's just not much you can do about that right at the end of the game, and it could prove costly. But XSET not out of it yet here in Game 4, but can Rogue finish it off? XSET did just come off a Game 5 loss. This time, they're just hoping to make it to Game 5 as J-Pow does send it hopefully in field here, and certainly they'll be wanting to get the opening goal so that they can rebuild their momentum and break that Rogue confidence. And speak of double touch, J-Pow, can he provide? It's a good angle down, but going to be denied by the crossbar every time there as it's infield once again, looking to be direct. XSET, they ain't got no patience today. They want this goal, and they want it now. And the shot, oh, the post is cruel, and it's not going to be put in. That's painful to watch.
Again, they're trying to squeeze water out of the stone XSET on that play. Hoxer constantly keeping the ball in attack, trying to, with any possible touch, just keep it within the reaching distance of his teammates, and it almost worked, but done that post. has been both the ally and the enemy, and now Kuroko creates something of his own, a little bit of a magic trick on the wall with not much to work and really not a lot of space, but man, does he position himself just perfectly to get all of the power that he could do through the bumper on that double tap.
Oh, that's so tiny. It could be a series-winning goal as well. He had no room to work with, as you say. And Hoxer, he was thinking the same thing as us. He was sat in the net just like, yeah, I'll wait for this rebound. There's no way he's making it. Oh, yep. He scored. Guess we're losing then, as they do have time on the clock, but 1-0 is the scoreline here in Toroko. He's not going to opt for that one. This time it's Turo's turn. He won't quite find the flip reset with that flip, and he's going to get the touch out to mid regardless here. As you can see, the hesitation out of the XSET defense, not really willing to lose one more race to the ball as first killer uncontested in the midfield for the bounce here. He cannot sneak it in at the near post, though. Alpha Kep is there for the deny, and Turo on the end of Toroko's pass. It's 2-0, and it's beautiful.
The longer this attack went, the more you could see that the road have been tightening the vices tighter and tighter on the XSET, constantly off the left flank. Balls have been coming midfield for somebody for Rogue to take. There was always somebody on the rotation, incredibly slick and quick as well. They also had the resource to continue on putting the players up front. Usually it's 1-2 and then wow. Now it's a 3-0. And I'm afraid this is one of those times for XSET when the unfortunate huge loss is now staring them in the face. Quick reminder though, earlier today they managed to claw back 3 goals in about 60 seconds versus Team Envy. That was also the final match of the series. So, deja vu. Hopefully for XSET this time it's not going to be a loss, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, there certainly is. There's another double commit on the defense. The pain there of watching two of you pre-jump and the ball still find the back of the net for a third goal. But like you say, they've already made comebacks in game force today. But Hoxer, he cannot reach that ball. They're pushed up so far. They're trying to close the gap, restrict the breathing room, and sometimes it's a little too far as Turo is just going to fire a softball and it's going to find the far post. You can't blame XSET for wanting to press so high. They need a goal. They can just throw the kitchen sink. There's no difference between losing 3-0 and 4-0, but there was still plenty of time to work with, and now that mountain's grown just that little higher.
Well, this is straight up the scenario of the Team Envy match of the final game. 4 goals. So in the minute and a half, I suppose, XSET are going to all of a sudden pull out all the stops and try to get something out of this game. But right now, it is looking rough. Barely crossing the 100-point mark. Only 1 shot for the whole team of XSET. This has been Rogue show the moment this match started. You can see some smart plays. Slow it down. Why hurry? Even in this situation, why hurry? You can create something when you're just trying to catch your opposition, thinking that you're going to just rush towards it. No. XSET still have a lot of smarts about their play. Time is playing on against them. Still in the attack, still trying to find their... Well, they found their second shot, but no goal on the end of that one in the XSET. Well, might as well start thinking about their final match of the day. That's going to be against Shopify Rebellion for Rogue. They're going to cement their place at the top of the standings in the group after this match is over. Not over just yet, though.
Yeah, exactly. There's still over 90 seconds on the clock as Alpha Kep is going to work it nicely round the corner. But like you say, this is rough. And to be honest, might be worse than that. It's more like a carpet burn, and the problem is this game, Rogue's plays have been silky smooth, and it's really just been a class just put on for complete show, as really just winning balls all over the field. And when they link up this well, you can see why they're so reliably a top team in North America, placing third so often in the rankings of the points. They may be fourth in the overall, but still, they're looking fine form. As I say that, of course, they're going to concede an open net runaway. I'll just say that a few more times, and we may have a close game on our hands there, as Alpha Kep's going to pass to himself for the open net. And with still over a minute on the clock, it is believable, but I probably wouldn't hedge my bets just yet.
Chat, are you with us? Because this is it. This is the exact same scenario. I cannot believe we have it twice. So just a quick reminder, XSET have been able to score 3 against Envy in a matter of 1 minute. They needed the last one, and look at that. The shots are coming in. They're now in the attack. Please tell me they can repeat this. And this is a great pass to J-Bob, but Taroko's save is even better. And this is a clear that they did not want. Top right corner, first killer I think he didn't even look at this. I want to get his camera view again. Up the
Fantastic.
field, looking for a pass. Nope, not even looking. Just a great redirect from a great play.
It's a perfectly timed side flip, and to find the back of the net from there is impressive, but to literally place it aimbot top corner, that's just rubbing salt in the wounds right now. That's 5-1, and the rest will be a formality, barring a miracle to end all miracles, as XSET, unfortunately, like you say, going to be 0-3 in the group, and that's fair enough. It was mostly predicted that they would struggle in this group, and we're not surprised by the fact. It's just a shame by just how close the margins have been sometimes. I say that in a game that is, of course, 5-1, which is ironic, but still, it genuinely has in the majority of their series. They've got one series left today to try and keep themselves in this group. The Grid wildcard team certainly happy to be here, won't be happy in which the painfulness that the losses are coming, but got one life left. And Rogue, they move on, and well played to them.
Bravo. Rogue have recovered after the start of the series. Skiller also being very overconfident with the way he just played, but really, in many ways, Skiller should be happy about his performance. Again, some crazy moments that he has pulled out of his hat. And Rogue, yep, once again gets proven they are one of the best teams in the region. Still, they have 2 more matches to play themselves.